Today we're going to take a look at how you can create grading groups to use with your students in Schoology. And as we go through the process of how to do that in Schoology, we'll talk about why you might want to do that. So creating grading groups in Schoology will allow you to privately differentiate your curriculum and your classwork for your students. So you will be able to assign folders and or assignments or discussion boards to a group of students or even individual students. And as they work through those activities in Schoology, they will know what they are working on, but nobody else will in the classroom. It's nice and private, and it allows you to help students that need to do some extra work on a content area or students that you need to push forward and let them try some different things. This will allow you to be able to do that nice and easy. So if you navigate to one of your Schoology courses, and then on the left-hand side, if you click on Members, once you get there, you'll see the list of all of your students right here in your class. Over on the right-hand side, right above the green access code box, you'll see Add Grading Groups. It says initially organize members into grading groups. If you hover over that, you just click and say Add Grading Group. So right here, you have a couple options. You could name them by color. You could name them by a certain task that they're going to be doing. I'm just going to start by naming it Red Group. You can name it whatever you would like to name it. Once you give the group a name, then you come in here and you select the students that you want to be in that group. So for me, it's in that red group. So I'm going to select a few students here, and then I'm going to say create a grading group. I can also search. So now over here on the right-hand side, you see a red group. I'm going to do another group, and I'm going to do the green group. So I'm just going to come down here at the bottom and select these students down here and create grading group. Now, if you happen to mess up, you come over to where it says red group and click the gear and you can edit. This again will bring you back to the list of your students and you can see who is in that group. You could drop someone out of the group or add something in the group. One question we get a lot is, can students be in multiple groups? And yes, they can. So maybe for talking elementary, maybe you have colors for your math groups, and for your reading groups, you have animals. You can definitely have students in multiple groups. So once those groups are created, what do you do with them? Well, the magic comes into play when you're assigning materials. So if I come over to the right here and click on Materials, so if I'm over here in my materials for my course, let's say that I already have a folder created, this listen folder, and I have some materials in there, and I want to assign this to a group of students. For a folder, if you come over here to the right-hand side and click the drop-down arrow and click on Individually Assign, it will pop up here and it will let you actually assign it to one student. If I just started typing a name, I could come down here and click a name. Or if I wanted to add it to a group, if I click down here, select grading groups, and remember I created a red group and a green group, and I can assign it to the red group. Or I could assign it to the red and the green group and not the yellow group. Lots of options here. And then I click Next. And then it just says, are you sure that you want to do this? Only the students in that group will see this folder. And then it says if new students join your class or need to be added, you will need to individually assign that folder to them. So if you move someone to a group, you'd have to go back and individually assign that folder. So I will go ahead and assign, and again, only the red group, you can see right underneath here, only the red group will see that folder. Nobody else will see that folder. So another thing you might want to do is, instead of assigning a folder to a group of students, you might want to assign just one thing. Maybe one discussion board that you want a group of students to work on and discuss some content together. Or maybe it's an assignment. but you don't need a whole folder assigned to them, you just need one individual thing. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here to the read group or folder, and then up here we have a discussion board. And for an individual item like a discussion board or an assignment, you come over here to the right to the gear, click on it, and then click edit. Once you click edit, if you scroll down to the bottom by options, you'll see 3 dots that form a triangle. If you hover over that, it says individually assign. Go ahead and click on that. And then you'll see a box pop up that says assign to. Now here you can go ahead and start typing the name of your group that you'd like to assign it to, and then just click on it. Your other option here is, even if you don't have groups created, you can assign this to individual students. So I could just start typing and assigning to students that I would like this discussion board to go to. So again, right now, the only people that will see this discussion board is the green group and then these 2 students. So you have a lot of options when you're assigning, if you only want to assign to a small group or an entire group. Then you hit Save Changes, but before I hit Save Changes, I'm going to go ahead and hit Save Changes right then and there. Sometimes it might ask you to put a grading category in, whether it's ungraded or formative or summative. If you get an error, just be sure to check. It will tell you that you need to assign a grading category, otherwise it will be ungraded, and ungraded is just fine. Now you can see down here at the bottom, this discussion board has 1 group and 2 others. Now when you hop over to your gradebook, if you use your Schoology gradebook, you can come up here underneath your drop down, and you can see that you have red group and green group. So if I wanted to break it up by the red group and the assignments that they had in here, both of our assignments were ungraded, so they're not showing up. Or if you wanted to look at the green group, you can also navigate back and forth in your grading book between the groups that you have. So again, to assign grading groups, you start by clicking on Members, the left-hand side, and then you will build your grading groups over here. It's just a fantastic way to be able to privately differentiate and really personalize the learning in your classroom. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.